Today we're going to talk about why you should hire a photographer who specializes in visual communications if you want to use the images to market or brand your business, rather than hiring a regular portrait photographer or your Uncle Bob. Number one, someone like Workstory is an expert in branding, marketing, and design. Before I was a photographer, I was a graphic designer. I studied that in college. I've been working for 20 years in marketing, branding, and design. And I know what kind of images are going to work well in those realms for, marketing, advertising, anything that you need to communicate. We're creating not just pretty pictures, it's a visual communication to prompt a user to either think something about you or do something, buy something, all of those things. So we specialize in that. So you want to spend your money wisely. You might be spending a little bit more, but you're going to get a better outcome if you're hiring someone who specializes in creating something that's going to get a result for you. So also someone who has worked as a designer creating ads, creating content, blogs, that kind of thing is going to know what works as far as different platforms go. Like I'm keeping an eye out for, if you're going to use these images for Facebook headers, I know we need to make long skinny images or images that can be cropped into that way and leave room for text, and or we want to make sure we're framing them in a way that can be cropped in multiple ways, which is an issue now, right? We have Instagram, Facebook, Instagram stories, Pinterest, blogs, print ads, billboards. Those are all very different platforms, and the images have to be sized, cropped. They have to have the right pixel dimension for those things. So someone who has created graphics for all of those things, which I have done, has that on my mind. I know I had one client who hired me. I thought we were just doing headshots. But then after we created all the images, they're like, well, we're going to put this photo on a billboard. And I was like, oh, luckily it worked out because I shoot in really high res. But if I had not, if I had not been shooting in a format that would work for a billboard, we might have had to redo that because I didn't know they were planning on putting that on a billboard. So, all of those different formats need different, they're just different. And knowing what you need for those as far as the photos is really helpful. Also, a person who specializes in creating visual communications is going to know the right questions to ask you because, like I mentioned with the billboard, I didn't ask them if they were going to put their photos on a billboard. I now have that as part of my onboarding process. I ask you, how are you going to use your photos? And one of the reasons I do that is so that I can ask you more questions and make sure I'm delivering something to you that's going to be usable and optimized for those platforms. So the most important distinction I could say as to why you should hire someone who specializes in creating images for marketing is that they are going to help you create images that are going to sell your product and service. That's the biggest difference, rather than hiring someone who specializes in capturing memories and special moments and telling the story of a day, which is what a wedding photographer is really amazing at. And there's, so much value in that, but they're not necessarily trained or have on their mind how to help you sell your stuff. So that's the main distinction. I hope that's helpful. If you have any questions, reach out to me. My email is Tanya, Tanya, @workstoryphotography.com. You could also leave a comment on this video and I'll answer it for you. Have a great day. Bye.